Welcome. This is an astrology update for the full moon in Aries for October 6 and 7. So, what is this full moon about? Well, let's start with the sign of Aries. Aries is about battles, fights, your ego versus somebody else's ego. So somebody tries to bring you down, and you have to defeat them to get a hit. Competition. Okay, disputes, disagreements, competitions. Number one, it's ruled by Mars. What is a full moon? You know what the full moon is. It's when you are at the peak of the cycle. So now it's time to act and to assert the fruits of your labor. So whatever you've been doing in this last 2 weeks before the full moon, now you're ready to do it. Yeah, imagine a seed has been planted 2 weeks before and now you harvest it. So the harvest is represented by Aries. So you harvest a battle. Yeah, a battle, a conflict, a disagreement, a separation. You separate. You leave. You block. You reject. You know what I mean. Aries, I am and you are not. I am not you. You are not me. I am here. You are there. Bye. That's Aries. Now, looking at the rest of astrology, we have Mars, the depositor, in Scorpio, in its sign of strength. So will the battle be successful? Maybe, maybe not, but at least you'll be able to do the battle, right? If Mars was in Libra and Taurus, there would be delays, there would be blockages. You would be overthinking in your mind. Okay, the shadow of Aries, if you don't take action, you overthink. You get stuck in the head. That's why Aries has a big forehead, because they do a lot of thinking, which might surprise you. But yes, Aries is actually, it can really get caught up in the thinking because it needs to plan, needs to strategize. Because otherwise, Mars doesn't work properly. Yeah, Mars loves Scorpio because you're strategic, you're surgical, you're precise, you're accurate. You will strike where you need to, and you will ignore what is not your battle to be fought. At least that's the idea. Unfortunately, based on what I've seen, most people during this full moon are not like that. Okay, most people are choosing the wrong battles and they are fighting to take back control. So you will, of course, with any full moon, any transit, any astrology, you hear it from me time and time again. See the univulf, the shadow expression, the karmic expression, the wrong, the loser expression of the placements. Okay, the loser expression. So what does the loser group for this full moon look like? Very simple. People who fight over nothing. Who fight not to heal, but to win. So to boost their ego, to extract loosh, to suck your energy. Okay, somebody wants to suck your energy. They want to trap you. They want to catch you. They want to control you. You know, like Scorpio Mars. What do you expect? So the shadow of Scorpio Mars is a controller. Like, for example, a parasite, or somebody who tries to keep you in an enmeshment bond, like an avoidant, or a narcissist when he's covert. Because it's a lot of strategizing, going on. You need to be able to convince your opponent that he is wrong and you are right, while they are actually the one who's right. You need to gaslight, you need to manipulate. And Aries is just the spark with this full moon that's going to give you the courage, the strength, the determination to defeat your opponent. But Mars in Scorpio is how you will defeat them. So you will defeat them by cutting them off, removing them, discarding them, getting rid of them, or by controlling them and trapping them, which is the lower expression. Because let's face it, who in their healed mind, in their right mind, wants to control another person? Wants to tell them what to do, what to say, how to act, except an avoidant, of course, or a narcissist, literally. So you will see that. You will see people around you losing their mind, trying so hard, so desperately to take back the control that they think you have. So if you are under attack, take it as a good sign that you are actually the one who is in control. If you're not under attack, if everything's love and light, everything's peaceful, nobody's fighting you, maybe you have already fought those battles in the last 3 days before the full moon. But if you haven't done that either, then probably you're in the loser squad and you are actually avoiding conflict like an avoidant, or you're trying to convince yourself, manipulate yourself, gaslight yourself into believing that is actually an awakened state of consciousness and enlightenment to dismiss, avoid, invalidate, ignore your own ego, and allow these opponents around you to disrespect you however they want to, because you're so enlightened, you're so superior, and you need to be the better person, and you need to walk away from the conflict, you need to walk away from the drama, because that's what superior people do, right? So that's the loser squad. This is really the gist of it, what you need to know about this full moon. If you understand this, you're probably in a pretty good position. So that's the full moon in a nutshell. What else is going on? Mercury just entered Scorpio. It's at 1 degree of Scorpio. And it has been opposing Chiron and Aries. It's just moving out of this orbit right now. But as the Venus has been conjunction South Node in Virgo for the past week or so, since October 4, the last 3 days. At the same time, Mercury has been sitting in that very, very difficult spot. It's been anaretic just 2 days ago at 29 degrees. So you have seen already a lot of arguments, a lot of wrong thinking, overthinking, people really getting stuck, trying to get through with some kind of a message. But realizing if I want to get the message through, I have to be vulnerable. I have to allow myself to be criticized, to be rejected, to be attacked, to be abandoned. So Chiron in Aries is bringing up all these ego conflicts where you are fighting yourself to conform, to please, to appease, to fawn to an opponent, to be the diplomat, to keep the peace. While the sun is also in Libra, of course, that's our comfort zone right now. The sun is not in a good position. It's in fall in that sign. So the leader inside of you, who's supposed to stand up and stand for something or fall for anything, is in a sign that pretty much falls for anything, which is Libra. So Libra is when you see your opponent's side and you try to argue with them. There's a lot of arguing going on, obviously, but you want to win the argument. And when you win the argument, you are a good person. But not only that, you see when Libra is in its shadow, your ego is so fragile, so weak, that you have to appear to be right at any cost. You have to always be right. So you will see a lot of people, when they lose an argument with you, refusing to back off because of the sun being in Libra. I'm telling you, this is how the astrology works. This is how you can read this. So you can safely predict that there's lots of people right now who are feral. Okay? So they're fighting, they're arguing, they're releasing the pent-up hidden resentment, the hidden anger in full moon in Aries. But once they are questioned, once they are challenged, and somebody says, wait a second, are you sure you're angry with me? Can't we find some kind of agreement, some kind of common ground? No, I need to be a good girl. I need to extract loosh. I need to suck your energy. I need to win. I am right, you're wrong. Because that means I'm a good noodle and you're not. So you will see a lot of that. People trying to steal each other's energy because they are superior. They are perfect. They are always right. And if somebody is inflating some flaw, some mistake that you made, you may actually feel like, okay, maybe they are justified. Because clearly I'm not perfect, so I must compromise. And that's also another pitfall of Libra. So be very careful, because this can go either way. You know, it's a dualistic sign. It can go either way. You will either submit completely to the enemy, or you will bulldoze the enemy. This is the danger of this full moon. Either way, you know, somebody's submitting, somebody's bulldozing. Why can't we find the middle ground? This is the purpose of that sign, to find balance. But where is your balance when there's so much emotionally going on? Okay, so that's one aspect. But of course, then you also know Venus is conjunction the South Node in Virgo. Now, of course, Venus is the depositor of the sun, so it will strongly affect our ability to discern, to judge, and to harmonize relationships. So are we with the right people? Or are we with people who are not good for us? So it can make you hypercritical. It can make you, like I said before, inflate somebody's mistake. Oh, because they disagree with me, gone. Like over the smallest disagreement might already be enough reason to go. While at the same time, somebody who has been disrespecting you for ages, somebody who's actually really your enemy, you treat them like they're your friend. And you still try to please them, fawn to them, like an avoidant, basically. Virgo is like an avoidant sign. And Venus, for a reason, is debilitated in that. Because avoidants really are not good at relationships. So the sign of Virgo is not good at relationships. That's why Libra is the next sign to compensate for that flaw, which is where Venus will go into at the end of October, but not now. Not now. So during this full moon, it will not be good for you to make any decisions when it comes to your relationships, because chances are you cannot see things clearly, and you need to wait until Venus goes into Libra to make a decision. However, if you understand the astrology, then you understand people are coming back from the past now. People who have been sticking around maybe for ages, long-term friends, long-term relationships, which are now falling apart because they are now seeing something as really bad, as really a problem that they didn't have any problem before. This is literally like a push-pull dynamic, or somebody who has been loving you and is now starting to hate you. And hatred is about creating distance, about maintaining control, about maintaining some kind of self-esteem, some self-worth that they are getting triggered, because all this ego energy in Aries is trying to compensate for the flaws, the insecurities, this low self-esteem that we feel with the South Node and Venus in Virgo. Okay, so there's a lot of low self-esteem right now. How do you get self-esteem? Well, you find out first, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Venus and Virgo, there is something about it. It's like, why is it debilitated? Venus is like your magnetism, Think about it. What makes people like you? But the function of what makes people like you, debilitated, that means you're very bad at getting people to like you. That means you're very bad at compromising. You're very bad at seeing the other person's point of view. Virgo is narrow. Like closed eyes, narrow-mindedness. Venus is like out of place here. Like, what are we doing? The sun is supposed to be in Libra. We're supposed to get some kind of resolution, some kind of success, some kind of cooperation in our relationships. That's what we're seeking. We want relationships to work. We take them very seriously right now. But instead what we're doing is we're just getting rid of relationships, left, right, and center. Because we feel like these relationships are just not good enough for us. Or we are not good enough for them. It's going to be either or. And sometimes when people feel they are not good enough for you, they project all the insecurities onto you. And this is the danger, how Venus and Virgo can self-sabotage relationships. Okay. But let's be real here, because what I am seeing most of the time right now is that people are really overstaying their welcome. They're trying so hard to make something work because the South Node is making you really stay stuck, okay, making you act out, where you just can't let go. Like something bothers you about somebody that you can't let go of, but also you are so attached. You want to make it work so badly with somebody else. And so you can't leave. But you're supposed to leave. This is the portal to leave. This is not the portal to start a relationship, to let somebody else new in. Nothing like that. You're supposed to get out, to break free. And comfort, pleasure, having a good time, enjoying yourself, There's not Venus, Virgo, South Node territory. So if you are trying to just have a good time now, chances are it's going to be sabotaged by something. Something's going to block you. You feel like you can't rest. You can't relax. And this, of course, is overemphasized also by the fact that Saturn is in Pisces. So all of these energies playing around is a cocktail of stress, of nervousness, of relationship issues. So I don't know. This full moon is not the best, but it can make you see where things are not working. What is wrong in your life? What needs fixing? What do you have to stop? What do you have to stop giving your time and energy to? And then, once you recognize it, you stop. And that's it. That's really all you have to do with this full moon. You don't have to be like Aries and take some decisive, impulsive, reckless action. You just have to withdraw your attachment, your energy. Because really, Venus, as the depositor of the sun, is the star player on the south node. Simply because the full moon is so close to this exact conjunction. And that is why it is the star player. Yeah, it is about loss. Loss of people, loss of money, loss of feeling good about yourself and where you are in life. So it makes you restless. But this is what is necessary for the purge. So everybody is eating a little bit of humble pie right now. That they may not even be aware that they're eating humble pie because they're so much caught in their ego. They're trying so much to avoid the humble pie that they're starting to attack other people or trying to boost their superiority complex by devaluing and discarding people who are actually not that bad. And this is why you get so many problems. Okay, this is what is the loser squad. So what's the winner squad looking like with this full moon? What means you are winning? Well, first of all, are you in a problem-solving mindset? Are you in a mindset of, I need to get to work. I need to fix something. I need to change something. I need to let go of some people or some attachment, financial or emotional. If you're in that mindset, you're a winner. And if you are in the mindset of, oh, I'm a victim, other people are treating me badly, I hope eventually they will come back and they will treat me right. Oh, I just have to suppress my emotions and look perfect so that my insecurities of being a bad person do not get triggered. And I have to make sure that if I lose an argument, that I still look like I'm innocent and I'm perfect, even though I lost. That you are in the loser squad. And this involves a lot of gaslighting and manipulation. Because you can't avoid people forever. I mean, people are everywhere. How are you going to escape? You want to be in a cave somewhere? You'll have to talk to people. And when you do, you find out just how dysfunctional a lot of people are. How much they only think of themselves. They're so selfish. They can't consider your perspective. They can't put themselves into your shoes. They want you to fail. They want you to be wrong. Because it feeds the victim narrative. That the world is a bad place, everybody's bad, and if somebody's good, they're lying to you. Right? If somebody says something correct, something accurate, something good, if somebody makes me think, if somebody makes me question myself and doubt myself, they are lying to me. They're trying to control me, they're trying to hurt me, they're trying to manipulate me. I must be love and light at all times. I must always have high self-esteem because I can't stand my low self-esteem. I can't stand it when I'm less than they are. So this kind of behavior, it's not just that Venus represents your self-esteem, but also how do you deal with your self-esteem? How do you deal with how you feel about yourself? In Virgo, you cover up the flaws. You hide. You make everything go away. You're like, I made a mistake here. No, I didn't. No, you're just imagining things. Oh, you think I am avoiding you? No, I'm just busy with work. Oh, you think I am ghosting you? I'm disrespecting you? Ah, I think you're just too sensitive. I think you're overthinking this. This dysfunctional Virgo shadow. You will see a lot because the South Node is what you have too much of. Imagine the South Node Ketu is your access. You need to get rid of that. You need to release it. You need to deserve it. It is festering. It is taking over. The overthinking, the self-criticism, the self-loathing. And of course, because there is a desire to release these things, because people are so dysfunctional, they're so wrong in their thinking. They're wrong in their mind. Their mind doesn't work properly, okay? So they have to lie to themselves. They can't deal with reality. Do you realize most people can't deal with reality at all? They hate reality. They hate you. They hate themselves. They hate everything. They're like a sad donkey, a downer. Okay, they spread the misery everywhere they go. And so when they meet somebody like me or like you, when you are a winner, who's saying, wait a second, we have a problem here. We need to fix this problem. They project their own downer shadow onto you, and they say you're the downer. You're negative, you're too sensitive, you're too much, you're being difficult. Why do you have to talk about the avoidance? Why do you have to talk about the narcissist? Why do you have to talk about this and that? Can't you just be love and light? Can't you just cover up the flaws and pretend they don't exist? Can't you just move on? Can't you just let go? Can't you just be at peace? Because clearly I am so peaceful, right? While my whole life is in chaos, I have low self-esteem, I have a superiority complex, I need to devalue other people to boost my ego, I'm competitive, I'm always jealous of other people, but can't you be positive? Can't you feed my ego with some good news for once? Oh, isn't there hope for our humanity? Can't you be more hopeful for our future? This is a kind of a joke. But that's exactly how people are going to be right now. The Pisces-Saturn delusions, they're going to continue until that planet is out of that sign. South Node in Virgo, there's so much delusion. It's so much easier to pretend that the problem doesn't exist. So much easier that to admit that something's wrong is you have to do something. You have to take action. And it's frustrating. It's irritating. So this full moon in Aries tells you, hey, you're doing something wrong. Time to take action. But no, you will overthink. You will stay trapped in your mind. And I mean you, the loser squad. So whoever is a loser, you will know. Whoever around you is a loser. All the people you're dealing with 90% of the time, right? The vast majority of people are in the loser squad. Better remember it. For every single full moon, every prediction I ever make, any astrology placement I ever talk about, any shadow of any sign I ever talk about, any unevolved expression, that's most people. Any karmic shadow dynamic, any toxic lack of accountability, lack of self-reflection, lack of self-awareness, always doing the opposite of what the sign is supposed to do, is most people. They have placements in their chart. There's placements collectively. And what do most people do? Nothing. Nothing. Do they have a plan for what's coming? Do they have goals, ambitions? Oh, there's a problem in my life. Let me fix it. No. Oh, there's a problem, but let me think about it. I need pleasure. Let's go out drinking. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's distract myself. Let's just keep busy. Oh, just smile. Just laugh. Libra Sun. Virgo South Node. Because Pisces North Node, Saturn in Pisces, that means you need to go inward. Need to self-reflect. Need to go quiet. Stop the distractions. Focus on what is going on inside of you. Because your insides are not happy. The insides are rebelling against you. Yeah, your inside, you got all these problems, health problems, symptoms. That's what most people are getting right now. All kinds of symptoms, their body trying to purge something, and they're wondering, oh, I wonder why I don't feel so good. I need some more pleasure, some more Netflix, or some more junk food. Then I'm gonna feel better. Literally, this. Do you think I'm joking? Literally, I'm not feeling so good. I think more pleasure than just pleasure, just pleasure. Oh, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. I'll feel better soon. And then they feel better for a short time, and they will continue the karmic pattern for the rest of their life. Do you understand? Most people will continue doing the same things over and over again for the rest of their life. Do you think anybody's changing? Anybody's ascending? Oh yeah, we have a world going into 5D ascension, right? Ascension timeline. This isn't kind of a joke. Nobody's ascending. Everybody's descending further and further and further, which is good. Because maybe if some people hit rock bottom, they're gonna wake up. Like a clap on the neck to make the brain cells work again. Is that what's going to happen? Hopefully. Hopefully the misery is increasing. Hopefully the complaining is gonna get more. Because if it isn't, I don't really see any hope. I don't see no hope from humanity if people are continuing to be like a flamingo, to put their head into the sand and just like, oh yeah, nothing's happening. Everything's fine. There's literally most people sleepwalking through life. So Aries full moon is the little jolt of electricity, the little clap to make you aware that you have to do something. That is really what Aries is about. The Aries is, I do something. I am something. What am I? Or maybe I'm bad. Maybe I'm a bad person. Did you ever think about that? Maybe you are a bad person. So this is for most people, of course. Right? If you are watching this, you're probably the winner squad. I think. I hope. I just will assume. Let's just pretend that you are a winner because you're watching this. Just the fact, by the way, that you're watching this must be that you are doing good things in your life. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to access this information, right? Because trust me, this level of information, of breaking things down, I don't think is very common out there. I know that some of the things I talk about seem a little bit controversial. Like, oh, most people are unhealed. They're in the worst place you can possibly be. They're never going to change. Sounds like a doomsday prophet. But is it though? If that's what's happening, why are you blaming the messenger? Better blame whoever is causing the doom to begin with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to talk about it. But of course, the one who talks about it is the problem, right? So you will see people trying to argue and deflect and reframe, recreate reality inside their mind to avoid accountability. Because that's what people have always done, and they will always do in this luge farm. How long do you think is it going to take for people to flip the script and let most people be in the healed expressions? Maybe a few thousand years. Do you think it's going to happen in your lifetime? Yeah, because you're special, right? Because you just happen to be born during the ascension timeline. What kind of a joke is that? Does it seem realistic to you? But that's actually, like a lot of videos trying to be positive. And then people act really shocked. Oh, this guy is so negative. What? But I'm in the new cage. He's an astrologer. I thought astrology is new cage. My positivity, my toxic positivity. Why is it not being affirmed and validated? Oh no, I need to get out of this reality. He's clouding my mind. He's bringing the bad vibes. He's going to manifest negative outcomes for me. He's going to take over my life like a victim. Like I have this kind of power, like imagine if somebody telling you something like a problem is manifesting the problem for you. Like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Do you know how many people I get actually on a regular basis? Like I don't know where they come from. I don't know, from some astrology groups or something. And they say, why do you, it's not good for you. Do you think that maybe you should focus more on joy and happiness? It's always so negative on your channel. I don't know. I don't think it's good for you. Some kind of a joke. So they disguise their biting, their snake biting, like spitting poison at me as some kind of, oh yeah, I'm so caring, I'm so worried about you. And then I make a boundary and I tell them, this is my page. I can focus whatever I want to focus on. This is what I focus on because it works. People actually like it. I like it. I learn while telling you something. I get better at it. I get better at explaining reality, understanding reality. That's what I do. And then they tell me, but I didn't mean it like that. I wasn't trying to tell you what to do. Oh, you're so reactive. You're so full of anger. I know sometimes you are right. Sometimes I really like your content, but sometimes you just, I think it's too much negative. Like a baby. People are babies. Like if you can't stand reality, you shouldn't be here. This is reality channel, like this is where reality is found, examined, and explained. If you don't like it, you know where to go. But these people, they think I care about their opinion. Or like their opinion has some kind of a value. Like it has some kind of importance in my life. The only importance it has is to look at it and recognize how much of a joke it is. Just how much it makes me laugh in my mind and how amusing it is, all these attempts, so desperate, to try to shut me down or silence me in the most passive, innocent, sweet way it could possibly be, because you're terrified that I'm going to block you, because you know exactly that's what I'm going to do, even while you're making these sweet, innocent comments. And then, oh, I knew it, you're a bad person, I was being so innocent, I was being so kind, and you are so reactive. So the more innocent they appear, the more reactive and evil you are, right, for making the boundary. That's the whole point. It's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. It's a complete gaslight. It's just hilarious, yeah? Some kind of a joke. It's a joke. Do you understand? It's amusement. So this is how you want to think about it, Don't get angry when people try to gaslight you. Just laugh. Like, did you really just say that to me? Do you know what you just said? Do you know how angry people get when you laugh at them? Because their demons don't want you to laugh. Laughter, demons hate laughter. So laughter is the best thing. But also don't hide your anger, Like obviously you can tell, I'm never hiding my anger. I'm always saying, this is irritating me. This is annoying. You're annoying. You're annoying me. You're like a lurker. You're like, I don't know, crickets in my basement. I don't know, making like crickets, okay? Like you're making these disgusting noises, and I want you to stop making these noises, these sounds, because it's annoying. It annoys me. Because if somebody writes something gaslighting or passive-aggressive on my page, it's not about, oh, don't take it personal, it's just social media, it's just online, you need to be the bigger person, just ignore them. This is a kind of a joke. Everything is a joke. Everything, the advice people give you how to deal with these people and these people are a joke. So what do I do? From my perspective, it's a violation of my boundaries. It doesn't matter if I have a Facebook page or a social media platform or a YouTube channel and somebody writes a hateful comment. And I'm reading that comment. I am absorbing the comment. You can't lie to the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind reads the comment as if somebody's actually saying this to you. That they're actually talking to you. So your body, your nervous system is processing the assault, the harassment, as if it was real. I don't care what mental gymnastics you want to do. You're not going to be able to avoid, like an avoidant or a narcissist, the impact of this having on your emotions. And if you're unconscious of it, and if you're using all these defense mechanisms, all this new age spirituality, all this bypassing, to try to create like a fantasy reality, you're just going to get numb. Your nervous system is going to scream at you. Help, puppy! Where are you, puppy? The father within, the divine masculine, you're supposed to protect me. You're supposed to block that person. Your nervous system tells you, not me, not anybody. Your nervous system tells you this. But rather, you want to be the bigger person. You want to be my self-image. I need to be superior because I need to be detached from everybody. I need to not care. I'm in my clouds, ascension. You're this in the clouds, this detachment. It's complete bypass. It's complete self-abandonment. Let's call it for what it is. What most people do with these arguments and these conflicts and these, I don't know, violations, just self-abandon. And they think they're somehow winning. You know, like how reversed everything is, how inverted. And then they tell me, you know, because I'm talking about it, I'm addressing it, I'm exposing it, I'm saying, hey, this is actually, you know, this is wrong. What are you doing? So then I'm in my ego, right? I'm in ego. So ego is bad. Now, ego is very good. You should be happy you have an ego. If you don't have an ego, Aries, then you don't have protection. You got nothing. Oh, but I don't need protection. It doesn't bother me. Okay, but it does bother your nerves. It does bother your body. Oh yeah, but who cares about my body? Your body is an illusion. Yeah, sure. Your body is a reflection of what you truly believe and what you truly think, what you truly feel. How can you change what you feel? You change your behavior. But there is also consequences to each action. So there needs to be some kind of consequence. When somebody disrespects you, and this is, I think this is also the whole point of this full moon. Somebody disrespects you. Somebody invalidates you. Somebody threatens your ego. Which is okay. It's fine to threaten the ego, right? That's what I do all the time. But the healthy ego, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your dignity, right? Because that's what people want to do, to get under your skin. They go after your dignity. They smear your character. They use ad hominem fallacies, strawman arguments to try to deflect from what they're doing because they can't admit being a bad person. They don't want to be the villain, even though they clearly are, it's obvious. So they need you to be the villain. So you have to be willing to be okay with that. Okay, then I'm the villain in your story. Because I don't care what your story is. You can say what you want. You're still blocked. So it just doesn't matter. It doesn't faze you. But not because you are in La La Land, but because you're like, wait a second, I don't like this. This is wrong. You are wrong. Bye. Okay? So you are honoring, you are acknowledging, you're validating yourself. And what is you? What you've built, the self-image that you have, the self-identity, is it positive or negative? If you have a positive self-image, that means you like who you are and you are somebody worthy of respect, worthy of appreciation, worthy of love. That is what Venus at Virgo lacks in his, problematic expression. Of course, not in your natal chart necessarily, but it is indicated if you don't work on this problem. To intellectualize how you feel and your value. To intellectualize your value means that your value depends on materialistic points on a list. Okay, good looks, stoic, innocent, never make mistakes, good work. That's what Venus in Virgo cares about. That's materialism in a nutshell. Why is Venus exalted in Pisces, the least materialistic sign of the zodiac? The most materialistic planet, get this in your mind, okay, so you understand this. So let me get this straight. The most materialistic planet in astrology, Venus, the planet of money and worth and objects and values and people, is exalted in the least materialistic sign possible. Huh? Doesn't make any sense to you. It makes sense when you realize that you can never find happiness in the material world if you don't have your spiritual world in order. Venus in Pisces loves putting the spiritual world in order. It loves healing. It loves dissolving, letting go. Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care. Letting go means I accept who I am. I accept my limitations. I accept I am not all good. I'm not perfect. Not everybody's gonna like me. But I'm still a good person. Or I am still good. Okay, like maybe you're a bad person, but you are inherently good. So even if you are a bad person, you can still redeem yourself. So because you believe you can redeem yourself, it's easy for you to accept that you are a bad person. Do you understand? But if you believe you cannot redeem yourself, and materialism is all that matters, your money, your possessions, your image, your reputation, Virgo, Venus. If these things are all that matter to you, then when you are a bad person, you have nothing to save yourself. Because you don't care about the spirit, don't care about healing, don't care about self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is the last thing Venus and Virgo wants. Are you kidding me? Self-acceptance? Venus and Virgo is gonna go... I hate self-acceptance. Self-acceptance, like a disease or something, okay? So then should you be surprised that people around you are refusing to accept what they are doing, refusing to take responsibility for their actions against you, for their mistakes? Because it is threatening their self-esteem. That's already low. They don't have the capacity to redeem themselves because there's nothing left. There's nothing there. Okay, so low self-esteem makes evil. Lack of self-acceptance makes evil. Evil is the opposite of love. Venus is about love. You can't love other people if you hate yourself. Because you cannot be of service. Because you hate yourself, so you're a black hole. You're sucking other people's energy. Sucking them dry. Because you can't generate your own source. So your self-esteem is something inherent, something you broadcast, something you communicate. Meta-communication. When you really believe in it, people will believe you. People will believe you. Pisces is about belief. Do you believe you are good? At the core. Pisces, Venus says, yeah, of course I am. All of this is Maya, this is illusion. I am good at the core. If illusion doesn't work out well, it's illusion. If somebody doesn't like me, somebody doesn't like me. If I do wrong, I do wrong. So it doesn't care. That is what I'm talking about, okay? Acceptance automatically leads to you not giving a F. And that's exactly, when I see all these comments and these critics and these naggers and these snake biters, they're not accepting anything. Not accepting what they do, not accepting their words, the outcome of their words, the impact it has on me, how it makes me feel, how it's like, what are they expecting? They just want to, it's about narrative. Yeah? Like they are a good person. I'm a bad person. They are good people. Everybody else, bad people. Because the ego loves it. The ego thrives in it. What is ego? Again, it's separation between you and somebody else. So Venus and Virgo is very separating. Virgo is a sign that's very separating. It's discernment, judgment. Wants to separate, wants to split. Split hairs, right? Like the phrase. It's critical. It's judgmental. It's nagging. It's complaining. So you will see it. So this is how astrology works. Do you understand? If you don't see any of this, don't talk to me. Like, why are you here? What are you even doing? Are you living under a rock? Seriously, right now, are you living under a rock? The clock is ticking. Astrology is the cosmic clock. This is happening. You don't think it's happening? Literally, yeah. Like you're not living in reality. And those people who are not aware of this in themselves, so how their mind is playing tricks on them, also not living in reality. So they're playing out the cosmic drama. And when you accept this, when you understand that is what's happened, this is the reality of right now. Acceptance is the result. Love is the result. Because you know it's not personal. It's not about you. You know, everything is not about you. This is definitely not about you. All these attacks, all the people acting out badly. Oh yeah, you're in charge of reality. You know, this toxic stuff, these really toxic belief systems online. People telling you to change your reality, to manifest your reality. No, the clock is in charge. And the clock, well, it's not really in charge, but it is mirroring what's in charge. It's mirroring what's happening. So then there are people who say, oh yeah, don't you want to leave astrology behind? Don't you want to leave avoidance behind? Don't you want to leave health behind? Don't you want to leave all good things that actually matter behind because you shouldn't focus on anything, because you shouldn't commit to anything, because I have a toxic masculinity overlay, which is a super ego injunction from a narcissistic father who's telling me that everything is wrong and I shouldn't commit to anything. I must be in the upside down, in clown world, in purgatory, where I don't care about anything. I am not anything. I can't become anything. Oh, but I understand everybody's point of view. But I'm a devil's advocate. But I'm a Libra, or I'm an Aquarius, or I don't know, like an air sign, you know. This is like air sign energy, and it's an unevolved expression. Nothing against air signs, by the way. Just to get it clear. But that's society. Okay, there's most people. Like, I am nothing. So don't you dare be something. Don't you dare be someone. Don't you dare separate and individuate. Because it reminds me of what I've abandoned time and time again. Because I feel unworthy of being someone. This is actually how deep it goes. Yeah, I am unworthy of being a person. Not allowed to be a person. What does it mean to be a person? It means you have your own opinion, and you doesn't matter. Okay, if you hate people, you hate people. If you disagree with everybody around you, then you disagree with everybody around you, which is what I am doing. Yeah, literally, a lot of the time. Not always, of course. But if you are living in reality, you realize very soon most people are not living in reality with you. So if you're not disagreeing with most people, loser squad. Back, on the bench, like in school, time out on the bench, that's where you belong. When you are in the loser squad, unwilling to be in conflict, to be in battle with those who are actually in battle with themselves. I'm not really in battle with people, but I'm in battle with their programs. And I always try to remind them, hey, I'm not here trying to fight you, but I am trying to fight what you are doing, because what you are doing is all wrong. You're doing everything wrong. You're thinking wrong. Your outlook, your perspective, your perception, your self-awareness, everything's wrong. So I will tell you it's wrong. You can change, you can improve. You don't want to, of course, and that is also what's wrong with you, that you don't even want to. More that is wrong. Oh, and now you feel shame because it's so obvious that I'm right and you're wrong. But no, I am wrong. You are right. You need to flip it, right? Because you need to be a victim. I need to be a prosecutor. So all the story of humanity is so predictable, so basic. And the more I don't give a you know what about what it is that other people are doing, the more upset they get, the more angry they get. It's like, how dare you? Oh. Like I'm so scary, right? Like, because I have a brain. And clearly they have not, because they don't use it. Why is the brain not working? because they have abandoned their brain. They have abandoned their bones, their teeth, their biting. So, it's demons that do the biting for them. They have abandoned their spine, so they're spineless. So it's demons that make them pompous and arrogant and superior. They don't have a heart. They're heartless. So they're robots, and they're in the hive mind, and everybody's opinion is their opinion. And they are disconnected and empty, and they're ashamed of themselves. So demons feed on the shame of others. And so they need to extract your shame. They need you to be ashamed, to feel good about themselves. Because shame is what they are rooted in. It's where they live. And they don't have feet to walk, because they can't put themselves into your shoes. They can't see your perspective. They can't feel you. They can't vibe with you, because they have no ground to stand on. They're lost at sea. And so demons are in control of their boat, of their direction, of their vision, of their navigation. So wherever their feelings pull them, demons are pulling the strings. So their emotions are all wrong, their thinking is all wrong, their movements are wrong, their feet, their bones, their teeth, their eyes, their hair, their spine, their blood, their muscles, their vessels, their cells, every cell of their body, everything's wrong. This is not a joke. You think there's no consequences when your mind is in hell, literally in hell. To be in hell means to be in La La Land, in a delusional false reality, because you are not alive. You are the walking dead. You are a zombie. So you need to feel the emptiness. And that's what demons do, because nature abhors a vacuum. A collapsed star, a collapsed part of you, an emptiness, it must be filled by something. And so it will. So there's most people. Is that tragic? Maybe. Is it miserable? Miserable for them. Doesn't have to be miserable for you. For you, you got you. Rely on you. Rely on yourself. Trust yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Don't fall into this Venus Virgo nonsense. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Be vulnerable. Take risks. Allow yourself to be the villain. Be wrong. And that's how you break free. By being wrong. Because they can't be wrong, and that is why they are wrong. The irony, right? What you resist persists. So this is how this works, yeah. So anyways, this is kind of a long video. I don't know. Didn't really intend this full moon video to be so long. But here we are, me going off on a rant. But I think it was still good. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you're interested in my services, I deliver one-on-one readings with the same amount of depth and passion that I deliver in these videos. If you're interested, in my description, you find it on my page. If you want to book a reading, feel free to message me and we can set it up. That being said, thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.